everybody, and welcome back to Art a la Carte and another episode in our Arting for a Job 101 series. Over the years, there have been many things that I have learned along the way. There's not much that I would say, oh, that mistake was so bad, I want to go back and change it. Except for this one thing, and that is I wish I could redo my branding name, my art name. Now, it isn't because I don't like the name Art a la Carte. I really do like Art a la Carte. But there were some things that I really wish I would have understood or thought about before choosing Art a la Carte to be my branding name. So before we get into that, let me clarify what a branding name is. When you want to start a business or a company, or as an artist, you want to promote your art style, you want some sort of name or title that will represent you. Similar to if you want to go and have burgers and French fries, popular choices that come up might be McDonald's or Burger King. Rather than that one restaurant that serves burgers over on Virginia Street, you would think of McDonald's. That's a brand name. So in the art career, when you're thinking of art, you want your name or your brand to pop into people's minds. So when you're at that point of deciding what you want your brand name to be, there are a few things you want to consider. These are the things I wish I would have thought of when I was considering my brand name. The importance of picking the right name, or as I like to say, naming the baby. Because this is going to be your career. If you're going to build your artistic empire around this, you want a good name. You want a name that reflects who you are or what you do. Something that's easy for people to recognize, it's easy for people to spell, it's easy for people to research, something that just jumps out there. There is kind of a debate in the art community whether you should brand your artwork under your real name or under a studio name, and that is completely up to you. Now, both have pluses and minuses, so let me share in this video a few that I thought of, but if you guys think of more, please put those in the comment section so we can kind of go over them together. A plus for choosing your own name as your branding, so for me it would be Valerie Flynn. The plus for going that is it automatically identifies who I am. So this is Valerie Flynn Art. It identifies who I am. There are lots of artists that go that route. In fact, most artists in the art field go with their name. Why I chose to not go with my name is another story. I might share that a little bit later in this video. It's a good idea to go with your name. Then maybe the downside to that is it might not be super descriptive of what your specific style is. So if you are looking for a brand name that really just kapows, makes you know that when people read this name, they automatically know that you are all about drawing comics, you might want to choose a brand name that has to do with comics. You might want to choose, Comic Explosion Studios or something like that. That just, there's no doubt about it. You're not going to be painting realistic pictures of puppies. The downside to choosing your own name is there is now absolutely no privacy. Unless you choose a pen name, which is like a fake name. That's kind of similar to having a studio name. So if you don't want people to know that your name is, for example, Valerie Flynn, having your studio named after you is probably not the best choice. That is one of the reasons that I first decided to not go with my name. At first I thought, I don't want people on YouTube to know exactly who I am. And that is the downside to using a studio name, is that you're no longer known. I'm curious to know how many of you guys watching this video right now knew beforehand that my name is actually Valerie Flynn. So let me know in the comment section below. Did you know my name, or do you just know me as Art a la Carte? Many people, that's just what they call me. They call me Art a la Carte. Some of them may know that my first name is Valerie, but probably very few people know that my full name is Valerie Flynn. So these are all things that you want to take into consideration. Now, when I chose my name, again, like I said, I didn't want a lot of people knowing who I wanted. I wanted a little bit of privacy because I thought YouTube was going to be the full extent of what I was going to do. But now that it has kind of grown and I want to get my artwork out there, it would be kind of nice to let people know that I'm a real person behind Art a la Carte. I just really chose the name Art a la Carte because art and carte rhymed, and I'm all about rhyming. So once you have picked a name that fully represents you, whether it's your real name or you have a studio name, and you decide to go with this, before you jump into setting up a website with your name or getting an email with your name or anything like this, there's a couple things you're going to want to check. First, Google that name. You're going to want to put into the Google that name that you choose. And the reason I really wish I would have known this is because I am not the only person that realized that art and carte rhyme. There are quite a few art a la cartes out there. In fact, there is a really large business group that goes out and teaches kids about art. They're like a school of some sort, but they're called art a la carte. So anytime I use the hashtag art a la carte, we share that hashtag. So if you look at the hashtag art a la carte, you're going to see pictures that I've done and pictures that these other art a la cartes have done. So if you are not wanting to share your name, which I highly recommend that you try to find one that doesn't have an already established people's name with, because that could cause more problems later on down when you're trying to license things to your name. Yeah, just imagine if you wanted to have Disney as your studio name. You can see where I'm going. This could cause issues. So Google your name. Also, depending on where you're wanting to use your art in, you're going to want to double check with that. Art a la carte was actually already a YouTube channel. Granted, they had not posted anything for years, so I felt I could still use that name on YouTube. Also checking on social medias to see if anyone else has used the name art a la carte or whatever your name is. Some of you may have noticed that about my social media, that Instagram is not art a la carte, and Twitter is not art a la carte, because those were already taken. So I have to have some weird conglomeration of Art Carte Cafe. Again, what was I thinking? Art Carte Cafe? What? So when you are naming your studio, your brand, find a name that you can go across the board with on social media, on all the different platforms you're going to want to be on. Double check those things. Then once you've chosen your name, grab those names across the social media. Grab it on Instagram, grab it on Twitter, grab it on Snapchat, on Facebook, YouTube, all of those things. That's the one thing I wish I could change. If I could go back in time at the beginning of my art career, that's what I wish I would have known. Is there something that you wish you would have known before you got into your art journey? If you could go back in time and change this one thing, what would that be? Let's talk about that in the comment section below. Maybe there's something that I didn't know that I probably should be thinking about right now. Thank you guys for hanging out with me in this video. Hopefully it gave you some ideas and things to think about. Don't ask me for tips on what name you should choose, because it took me forever to come up with art a la carte, so I'm not a good namer of things. But if you want to, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos, and give this video a thumbs up. So until next time, God bless you guys, and we'll see you in another art video. Bye-bye!